for being here. My name is Carly Farrow, and I am the president, very proud president and CEO of Trillium Health Partners. It is such an honor to be here today with everyone, and this is a historic event. I don't think that anyone would dispute that we are here to break ground for history. Today we are acknowledging the history of Trillium Health Partners, and we're taking a bold step into a new era of healthcare as we break ground on the Peter Gilgan Mississauga Hospital and the Shah Family Hospital for Women and Children. Before we get started, I'd like to welcome our special guests and dignitaries. Chief Claire Salt, thank you for being here, of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Premier Doug Ford. Sylvia Jones, our Deputy Premier and Minister of Health. Rudy Cazzetto, our MPP from Mississauga Lakeshore. Kinga Surma, our Minister of Infrastructure. Carolyn Parrish, our amazing Mayor of Mississauga. Carolyn Riseborough, the President and CEO, my partner at the Trillium Health Partners Foundation. Peter Gilgan, the founder and CEO of Mattamy Asset Management. And Chris and Neelam Shah, the founders of the Shah Family Foundation. We're very happy to have Blair Wolk here from Orlando Corporation, and Shami Dua, our patient and volunteer and a friend of Trillium Health Partners. There's so many more of you. I want to name everybody. I have to say, I'm looking at Carlo Fedani and Teresa Ferracuti, so I'm going to say their names. They don't like me to do that, but I'm looking at them. They're so special. You're all very special to us here, and so thank you for being part of this special day. So, on this very special day, I'm going to invite each guest speaker who comes up. Here's the instruction. You're going to see some seeds here, and we're going to ask you to plant some seeds in this little planter box as you are giving your remarks. I know you might be not into gardening, but just go with it. It's going to be fun, and we're going to do something fun at the end with the Premier. The Premier and I are going to be joined by some kids that are associated with our hospital, and water the seeds and turn the soil as a symbolic gesture of growth and hope for the future. So before we continue, it is of the utmost importance, especially today, that we acknowledge the land on which we gather. Trillium Health Partners operates on the treaty lands and the territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, as well as the traditional territory of the Huron-Wendat and the Haudenosaunee. The land on which Trillium Health Partners is situated has been the site of human activity for over 15,000 years and continues to be home to many First Nations, Inuit, Métis, and urban Indigenous communities from across Turtle Island. As we turn soil today for the Peter Gilgan Mississauga Hospital and the Shah Family Hospital for Women and Children, we are looking forward. Building this hospital represents promise. Much like planting a seed, this promise must be nurtured with care, humility, and respect so our new hospital can grow into a lasting source for generations. I invite us all to consider today our own responsibilities in creating a healthcare system where Indigenous peoples feel safe, respected, and honored when they walk through the doors of the Peter Gilgan Mississauga Hospital and the Shah Family Hospital for Women and Children. As we break ground today, we must keep important legacies of the land in mind and commit to walking the path of truth and reconciliation together alongside Indigenous communities to ensure we are growing the future rooted in care, humility, respect, and meaningful change. And with that, I would like to welcome Chief Claire Salt of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation to the podium. She's with us here to celebrate and acknowledge the work ahead that we will remain committed to. Please join me in welcoming Chief Salt.
Ani, good morning. I am the Ogimakwe, Chief Claire Salt of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. We are the treaty holders of this area, and today you are located on Treaty 13. I'm so excited to join you today for the groundbreaking celebration of the Peter Gilgan Mississauga Hospital and the Shah Family Hospital for Women and Children. I have a special affinity with Mississauga because our original village area was located here on the Credit River, so it still feels intrinsically like home to me. And of course, the city was named after our nation. Healthcare is vitally important not only for individual well-being, but for societal prosperity. It encompasses a wide range of services aimed at maintaining and improving health of individuals and populations, ultimately contributing to a healthier and more productive society. My nation is happy to have meaningful engagement across all sectors within our treaty territory, and important that we remain abreast in major projects, major events, and major projects that are taking place in our homelands. Our elders remind us constantly of our stewardship and responsibilities. More importantly, developing solid relationships with sectors where we have significant alignment of values, and healthcare and medicine is definitely one of them. I personally especially value research and staying current on new healing methods and strategies. For First Nations people, healthcare encompasses more than just medical treatment. It involves a holistic approach that integrates physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being, recognizing the interconnectedness with these aspects within individuals and communities. Culturally safe and accessible healthcare that respects Indigenous traditional knowledge, healing practices, and self-determination is crucial to us. I come from a long line of nurses who placed a high priority on culturally appropriate healthcare for all of their patients. I'm proud of this significant achievement and would like to give special honor to the Trillium Health Partner donors, community partners, and neighbors, and of course the board of directors who persevered to bring this vision to reality and continue to persevere. I know firsthand how many years it takes in planning, raising the funds, to the shovel in the ground. Special honors to Carly Farrow for the great job she is doing to bring it all together and for keeping our nation informed each step of the way. We're all here to demonstrate our shared commitment to a healthier tomorrow. I'm happy again to join you today for this major milestone in the progress, and on behalf of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, I extend our continued commitment and support as the treaty partner to this project. Miigwech, and I'm happy to join you this morning.
Chief Salt, I give you this tobacco offering in gratitude for your leadership and partnership and all we will do together for the generations ahead. Thank you for being here. So everyone, today marks a defining moment for Trillium Health Partners, for Mississauga, and all of Ontario. More than 60 years ago, the Mississauga Hospital opened its doors with a promise to care for this growing community. That promise shaped the path from the opening of the Credit Valley Hospital next, the creation of the Trillium Health Centre in the 90s, and then our merger as Trillium Health Partners in 2011. Each step has brought us closer to delivering a new kind of healthcare, one that is compassionate, connected, and focused on better health for all. And now, we're breaking ground on Canada's largest hospital. So this is a 2.8 million square foot hospital that is 22 stories in size, and it will transform care in Ontario. The project is made possible through an historic investment from the Government of Ontario, the City of Mississauga, and our generous donors. It's about so much more than building a hospital. The Peter Gilgan Mississauga Hospital and the Shah Family Hospital for Women and Children represent a once-in-a-generation investment in healthcare. These new facilities will be more than just places for treatment. They will be hubs for advanced, connected care that reaches far beyond the hospital walls. And they'll be fully linked to the entire healthcare system, from family doctors to home care, long-term care, making it easier for people to get the right care at the right time, at the right place. The future is about care that is easier to access, more personalized, and better coordinated, fueled by digital technology and the incredible power of AI for better health. We're building healthcare that's designed for people's lives, whether you're at home, in your community, or in a state-of-the-art hospital. It will be built for generations to come. And I'm proud to say this work is happening today at Trillium Health Partners. We are reducing emergency department wait times by bringing people home with our Peel Regional paramedic partners and home care partners, and then connecting patients with virtual doctors, scheduling them for follow-up care instead of waiting in the hospital. Last year alone, our THP at-home program helped improve access to care while avoiding over $10 million in costs and supporting higher quality of care. We are working to prevent illness with our community partners. So we use our large data set and analytics capabilities to reach out to underserved communities for earlier screenings, prevention, for things like cancer care, cardiac, to prevent chronic diseases. When it comes to this incredible facility, we've designed SMART from the beginning. Standardization and lean design have been central to our planning. So what does this mean? Well, let me start by saying this hospital has 950 hospital beds, but only 5 rooms. That's because we took an incredible amount of time to ensure standardization was built into every corner of this facility. And then flexible design to allow for maximized use of every space, including clinics and operating rooms, so you can maximize care all the time. Intuitive configuration and wayfinding reflect the needs of people, from children to older adults. Where we stand today will be a health innovation hub for the city, as our talented clinicians, researchers, and innovators care for and discover how to improve the health of a population. This facility will represent the power of hospitals being health-producing economic engines for prosperity. As Mississauga's second largest employer, our city will be fueled by the innovation happening at this site and the spin-off development centered around health, including more than 2,400 additional healthcare professionals we will be adding to our community, driving innovation, research, and economic growth. It's totally awesome in every way. But none of this is possible without people and partners behind it. Many of you have heard me say this morning, it takes a village. I must start with Premier Ford, Ministers Sylvia Jones, and Minister Kinga Surma. In addition, our amazing Mississauga MPPs, Rudy Cassetto, Natalia Kusendova-Bashta, Nina Tangri, Sharif Saboy, and Deepak Anand. Mayor Carolyn Parrish, who is making history with us, and Deputy Mayors John Kovac, Matt Mahoney. Our councillors are here, Stephen Dasco, Alvin Tejo, Chris Fonseca, Natalie Hart, Joe Hornick, Deepika Demirla, Martin Reed, and Brad Butt. Oh my goodness, you guys are the best. Peel Regional Chair Nando Yanika, and our local MPs who've been here from the beginning in many different ways, Charles Sousa, Farais Al-Soud, Peter Fonseca, and Ikra Khalid. And to our donors, incredible, and so many of you here with us today. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for investing in us. The Gilgan family, your historic contributions started it all for us and will help us redefine care. The Shah family for putting a stake in the ground literally to change this community for women and children with a hospital dedicated. Blair Woke and the Orlando Corporation for the largest corporate donation and generous matching commitment in the history of our province. To our internal champions, board of directors, our redevelopment team, I gotta do a shout out for David Longley, who's been here through the generations of development. Ellis Dawn and PCL, our construction partners, and so many of our founding and current leaders who are here. A special shout out to our founding CEO at THP, Michelle D'Emmanuel, whose vision shaped where we are today and who planted the seeds for this future. And every other person under this tent, or working across THP today, or in the community partnering with us, or watching from afar and supporting us. At City Council a few weeks ago, I used the analogy of barn raising. In my hometown up in Northern Ontario, you can still see the Amish barn raising when a member of the community is in need. Everyone comes together, everybody has a role to play. Careful planning happens in advance, and then a well-orchestrated barn build happens within days. It's a remarkable thing to see, and it's such a perfect analogy for what we are doing today. So with that, it is my honor to welcome our first guest, Carolyn Riseborough, who is the President and CEO of the Trillium Health Partners Foundation.
Good morning, everyone. It's amazing to be able to look out at this incredible crowd, and I'm so humbled to be able to share this stage with such amazing folks. I know it's only been about 10 seconds, but I think I'm gonna veer off script for a minute. I just feel so humbled to be here. I don't share this story often, but you may not know, when my mother was pregnant with me, she almost lost me, and she drove to Trillium Health Partners, and the hospital saved my mom and me, and so it just feels so, thank you. It just feels so amazing to be able to, like many of you, do our small part to create something that's so much bigger than ourselves. So I'm so humbled to be here. Okay, back to the script. Don't worry, folks. I just want to say thank you to all of you, because you believed in what was possible before we didn't. And thank you because your generosity has laid the foundation for something that is so extraordinary. And as Carly said so beautifully, we are not just breaking ground on new hospitals, we are breaking ground on a bold new vision for healthcare. That means tearing down the walls between the hospital and the home so that everybody gets the care that they need when they need it. This new era of healthcare reimagines how, when, and where care is delivered. So patients are seen sooner, diagnosed faster, treated with greater precision. It's care that's powered by cutting-edge tools like artificial intelligence, but also grounded in something timeless, which is dignity, compassion, and equality. So we're not just waiting for change, we're building it here together. And I'm here because I wanted to start off by especially thanking our philanthropic leaders and donors who had this vision for us long before we got to today. And that includes our foundation board members, many who are here. And I want to give a special shout out to three folks, Paul Sabarin, John Pearson, and Greg Grice, our campaign co-chairs, who get up every Friday at 8 and have our call to figure out who we're going to talk to. So thank you to them. It was funny, I was sitting here in my chair and looking at the old photos coming up on the screen, and I saw these fundraising ads for the Mississauga Hospital, or what used to be the South Peel Hospital way back when. And if you can believe it, at the time, we had to raise $500,000. That was our local share contribution, $500,000. And it was set by the Port Credit Rotary Club and the Credit Valley Lions Club, who raised the funds to start the original South Peel Hospital. And I'm looking out here, I'm seeing the Caniff family, because I remember even when Iggy Caniff borrowed money before he became successful so he could make a donation to the hospital. And that's how dedicated folks were. And when I speak to donors and get a chance to talk to so many of you, it's amazing how proud everybody is that they can support a place that they know will care for their families, their neighbors, and that we will get world-class care for today and for the next generation. So they know that Trillium Health Partners is defined by the impact that many of our incredible healthcare teams, our staff, our researchers, our leadership, who continue to push the boundaries and advance and reimagine what's possible so that everybody gets the care that they need close to home. So on that, I want to now take a moment to thank some of our incredible donors and invite them up to speak. We have folks that are making today possible, and we could not be more grateful for all of you believing in us and helping to build something together. So thank you. So as we plant seeds today, may they stand as a symbol of what we're growing together, a healthier and more hopeful future for all. So I think I'm supposed to grab some seeds now and sprinkle them. I don't do gardening, so I have no idea what's going to happen thereafter, but let's hope. All right, now I am so thrilled to welcome Peter Gilgan to the stage. Peter and his team at Mattamy Homes have been building not just homes, but thriving communities for decades. And through his remarkable generosity, he helped ensure that those communities are supported by world-class healthcare. Peter and his family and the Peter Gilgan Foundation made a historic, ready for this, $105 million donation. Which today remains the single largest donation ever made to a single hospital in healthcare history. And not only that, through this extraordinary contribution, Peter was able to establish the Peter Gilgan Mississauga Hospital, which will be right here, if you can believe it, as well as the Gilgan Family Queensway Health Center. So just on behalf of everybody here, Peter, thank you so much for everything you and your family have done. Peter Gilgan.
So at the risk of sounding like a politician, you know, I never come with prepared remarks, so I had to sort of think about what was being said, and I'm not going to repeat everything else you're going to hear. But I did want to talk about, I guess, two words. One is the word trust, and the other is the word, what's more like a phrase, you know, belief in ourselves and belief in our country. Trust, I think, is something as Canadians that we're not very good at. We don't trust each other as much as we should. And it's only through trusting each other that we really ever achieve the progress we need to. So this, to me, was a great example because when this whole thing started, the Trillium Health Partner Foundation had been kind of moribund for decades because there hadn't been a lot of fundraising to do. And between it was Michelle and Carly and Carolyn and JP over here, Pearson, I trusted that they could get the job done. And here we are. Here we are. Now more than ever, we need to believe in ourselves, in our country. This is a real example of it. And I really think that, you know, not as Carly said, and I really don't want to repeat your words, Carly, but as you said, it's more than a hospital. It's going to break a lot of rules. It's going to change a lot of how healthcare is delivered, both in terms of the quality of the care and the efficiency with which it's done. We're really excited to work on the aspect of artificial intelligence and embedding artificial intelligence into every aspect of this new hospital. And I'm saying we're going to set a benchmark or a goal of saying we want to see a 30% improvement in every measure of healthcare delivery and outcomes as a result of artificial intelligence. So again, trust you guys to get it done. Thank Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peter. It's now my pleasure to invite Chris and Neelam Shah up to the stage. Longtime Mississauga residents, Chris and Neelam built a successful medtech business in this community and raised their family here, their 3 daughters. Giving back to the place that welcomed and supported them has always been deeply important to them. As dedicated donors, volunteers, they've been generous partners to the foundation for many years. And last year, we proudly announced their landmark gift to help build Ontario's first dedicated hospital entirely for women and children and their families, the Shah Family Hospital for Women and Children. Their transformative gift will forever shape the future of care for women and children and families, not just in Mississauga, but across the entire province. Chris and Neelam, to your family, thank you so much for your extraordinary vision and leadership. So let's please welcome the Shahs to the stage.
Well, first of all, good morning, everyone. And thank you, Carlin, for your very, very kind words. I want to build a little bit on Peter's 2 words of trust and belief in ourselves. I want to add a 3rd word to that, leadership. Without the leadership of Carly to lead this from beginning, to make it happen, we wouldn't be here today. And of course, the leadership of and our leadership from our great politicians like Doug Ford, Mr. Jones, our MPPs, Mayor Carlish, believing in great healthcare in a great city of Mississauga. So we thank you for that. You know, it's an incredible honor to be here today for Neil and myself on a site that will become the future home of the Shah Family Hospital for Women and Children. We're very grateful to be part of this occasion. And as a first-generation immigrants to Canada, to start from nothing and to be part of this is something grateful. And I can honestly say to be part of something bigger than we are as individuals is a very powerful feeling. And in that regard, you know, as we do our small part in enabling this, we hope others will get involved in whatever capacity they can, whether it be philanthropy, engagement, contribution, or kind word to someone. And this will make a great community for us and our generations to come. You know. As we kind of, over the years, wonderful staff at Trillium has looked after our family, our staff in Mississauga, and have provided a wonderful, wonderful care. This is why this project feels very personal to us as we embark on this journey. When we learned about the Trillium's bold plan to set up a first women's and healthcare dedicated women's and children's hospital, we couldn't be more prouder to be part of the journey into that. It's really a kind of generational change in our generational opportunity to be able to be part of something bigger and contribute towards that. It's really an opportunity to invest in our future, our families, and compassion they'll provide. So this project to us is more than just a physical building, as enormous it will be. It's really about building a future where every mother, every child, and every family is met with compassion, respect, and dignity. So we thank the leadership that enabled this. Thank you.
Not only amazing philanthropists and business leaders, but we actually have a real gardener, so thank you for that. Finally, I would like to invite Blair Woke up to the stage. Blair is the president of Orlando Corporation, which is Canada's largest privately owned industrial real estate developer. Orlando Corporation is not only a leader in business, but also a leader in giving. With a long-standing commitment to healthcare philanthropy, they have made extraordinary impact on our community. Their incredible donation of $75 million, which was made in honor, you can clap. And this is the amazing part. It was made in honor of their staff and their staff's families because they live in our catchment area, many of them. And to this date, it is still the largest corporate donation in Canadian history. In addition, this gift provided an extraordinary matching opportunity. So they doubled the impact because they wanted to engage the community and match donations up to the $75 million, which we are pleased to report we've done that. So we are deeply grateful to Carlo, Teresa, Blair, and the entire Orlando Corporation team for this transformational commitment. And to share a few words, please join me in welcoming Blair to the stage.
Good morning, and thank you, Caroline. And congratulations really to the entire Trillium Health Partners team and Trillium Health Partners Foundation, the teams that are on this incredible milestone. I'm really, truly honored and privileged to really just be here on behalf of our team and to say a few words on behalf of Orlando Corporation. 2 years ago, we made a historical donation in honor of our staff and their families, many of whom live in this community and consider Trillium Health Partners their hospital. At Orlando, we pride ourselves on being a close-knit team and really celebrating one another's wins and our proudest moments, but we've also been there through some of the difficult moments and times when when our staff have had to rely on healthcare teams in the GTA. We've seen firsthand the difference that quality, compassionate care can make, and the role that philanthropy plays in strengthening and expanding care for families across the GTA. As an organization, we are committed to supporting initiatives that drive real, measurable impact. Investments that lead to better healthcare, more efficient healthcare services, and world-class facilities. And Trillium Health Partners is exactly that kind of institution. You are known not only for delivering exceptional care close to home, but also for pioneering innovative programs that create ripple effects across the province and beyond. With Mississauga's continued growth and the rising demand in healthcare services, we believe there's never been a more important time to invest in the future of healthcare. Ooh. Actually, that window's kind of nice. Maybe get a bit more of that. The construction of Canada's largest hospital and Ontario's first dedicated women and children's hospital will ensure that families living here today and for decades to come have access to the best possible care. And before I close, I want to emphasize how central philanthropy is to building great communities. When we made our gift, we had hoped to inspire others to give, and that's why we offered a dollar-for-dollar match. And we've been incredibly moved by the response and by the generosity of so many people who have stepped forward. It's been heartwarming to see this shared vision of what healthcare can be, and thrilled to be part of this transformational moment in Mississauga's history. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you to our incredible donors, and that was a super motivational bit of time for us to feel inspired by the call to action for Canada and for healthcare. I want to say to the transformational donors that were up here, we will not let you down, and that is how we feel about the entire community. It is now my pleasure to introduce and welcome to you a very important person to our organization, Shah, a longtime volunteer and a patient at Trillium Health Partners. Shami has been with us since 1989, and his story is deeply woven into Trillium Health Partners' history. I would like you to now come to the stage and share your story, Shami.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Shami Dua, and Mississauga has been my home for over 50 years. I arrived here in 1974 to begin my career with Atomic Energy of Canada. Fresh from my postgraduate studies from Dalhousie University in Halifax, Nova Scotia. But my story today is not about nuclear power. It is about the heart. This is about the community. And this is about the hospital that has become family. Trillium Health Partners has been part of my life for as long as I lived here in Mississauga. I have been proud volunteer since 1989. My children were born here. They volunteered here throughout their teenage years. And their time at THP shaped and inspired them to be part of the medical community. And they both are now serving as specialists in the communities. Now, coming to my own journey with this hospital, it became deeply personal in 1999. Just before Christmas, on the way to pick up my daughter from McMaster University, I had a terrible chest pain. I was admitted to the hospital at McMaster. It turned out to be a heart attack. I was shocked. I've been living a fairly active lifestyle. I was a scout leader, I was a baseball coach, I was walking, I was going to gym, and I was shoveling snow for relaxation. So I went back to work after Christmas. I was a bit naive. I went back to work after Christmas and went for a meeting with the IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, that you've been hearing now in the news. But life has a way of humbling us. Soon after I returned from Austria, I had another episode. So I had another chest pain. I was admitted to THP. And this is where I learned that I need a heart bypass. It devastated us, my family. My daughter was going through medical school interviews. My son was in the last years of high school. However, we went through the operation. And then after my operation of bypass, we spent months of cardiac rehab right here at this hospital. And through every stage of my care, the care I received from Trillium Hospital, from the doctors, from the nurses, from the staff, was nothing short of life-saving. Since then, after my heart surgery in 2000, I have continued to receive incredible care from the outstanding team of doctors. Dr. Tischler, Dr. Gupta, Dr. Mangi, Dr. Singh, Watson, and Grover. and would not be standing here without the care I received from these incredible physicians and the staff. So my really profound gratitude to the hospital and to all the physicians and the staff of THP. I'm here today with my wife, Susie, my partner of 58 years. She was by my side all the time. She has been my strength through all this time. And like me, she has also dedicated her whole life to Mississauga City. She worked in the library, Mississauga Library, for all her life. And she also helped us to lift the family through all these challenges. Now that I'm retired from the nuclear industry after 40 years, I spend more time to do the volunteer activities at the hospital. Whether it is guiding patients at the information desk or helping the Kid Fit program or serving with the cardiac committee or offering a listening ear to those facing tough days. And I can tell you that some of the most meaningful moments in my life, I've been here for about 58 years, has come through from these simple acts of service that you give to people, that you give to the community. So today, as you break ground on the new Peter Gilgan Mississauga Hospital and the Shah Family Hospital for women and children, I feel an overwhelming sense of hope. And this is more than a building. It is a promise that you heard, a promise that our growing, diverse, and dynamic community will continue to receive the kind of care that saved me and shaped my family's future. I'm sure this largest hospital in Canada will be a beacon of world-class patient care in Canada and across the globe. I'm so proud to be a very small part of this community, and I cannot wait to see what is coming ahead. From my wife Susie and me, thank you for including us in this very special day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shami. And so many parts of that story are so much of what we are, but I want to do a special call out at this moment for our volunteers. Our volunteers are the lifeblood of the hospital. Honestly, it's the greatest thing, and I think you just gave a great advertisement for volunteering here too, because every time I get to interact with volunteers, they tell me that they get back more than they give, but it makes a hospital a hospital. So thank you, Shami, in every way. I am now pleased to ask our mayor, Carolyn Parrish, to come to the podium. Before she does, I just want to say this. Some of you may know this acronym GSD. Get stuff done. Get stuff done is what I think we in Mississauga feel from our mayor, and I couldn't be more grateful that when I did come to meet with her soon after her election and said, Mayor, how would you like to build a hospital? She kept the door open and we kept talking through every stage of it, and the historical contribution from the mayor and the city of Mississauga, our councillors, will make this hospital for generations be able to be the demonstration project for better healthcare. So Mayor, I'm pleased to welcome you to the stage.
Getting things done is important. Making speeches freaks me out. After 40 years in politics, I still don't do it well. I want to start by saying thank you, a really big thank you to Peter Gilgan, the Shah family, Trillium Health Partners, for your leadership and generosity. And I really want to thank Orlando Corporation. Your matching money took our share from $450 down to $390 million. Big applause. Yesterday was my 1 year anniversary being sworn in. Scariest thing I've ever done is sign over 390 million tax dollars. And if I get unelected after this, we have a hospital. I want to sincerely thank Carly. She was my bosom companion by phone, middle of the night calls, please, Carolyn, we've got to do this. And the day we passed it unanimously, and I thank the council for their support on this and their faith that we're going to get through the next election. Carly actually came over and gave me a hug, and she was shaking from head to toe, like a little bowl of jelly. Today we're working side by side to build more than bricks and mortar. We're building a vibrant, innovative Mississauga where residents and businesses thrive. And that means a world-class healthcare that we genuinely need, and we need it right now, in our own backyard. The demand for healthcare services in our community is expected to grow nearly 7 times faster than the average hospital in Ontario. This new facility will bring 2,400 more healthcare workers and approximately 400 additional doctors to the community. And we're in the process of rezoning a lot of the land around the Queensway and here Ontario, so that we can build affordable apartments there, and a lot of the people that work in this hospital will have affordable housing close by. Clap for that too. While we are building a hospital, we're also growing our economy up to 3,000 construction jobs at its peak. By creating what will be the largest hospital in Canada, we're putting Mississauga on the map for top-tier healthcare talent, students, clinicians, researchers, and innovators. And I really want to thank Premier Ford and the Government of Ontario. Their support was critical in making today possible. We made a few deals, didn't we? I'm very proud to be mayor of this great city. At this moment in time, I'm proud of our council, which gave unanimous support to the city's $390 million share of funding. I'm also grateful to Premier Ford, who has been a great friend to our city over many, many different things you've done for us over the last year. I think he likes me better than the last mayor. I look forward to a continued strong relationship with you, sir. And I'll still be asking for more stuff. Together, we're not just constructing a building, we're building a healthier, stronger Mississauga for generations to come, and we have wonderful partners here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Parrish. I remember that day. I was shaking. It was a big deal day. I just have to say, I'm not afraid to say when I'm going to shake and when I'm going to cry. I'm next so pleased to invite our local MPP for this hospital site and representing our incredible MPPs across this great city who have been there. You have our backs all the time, and that has meant the world to us. But MPP Rudy Cazzetto, who represents this space that we're on, is such a great champion, cheerleader, support system for us. I couldn't be more honored to invite you to the stage.
Good morning. Wow, what a turnout here today. And you are my favorite mayor, Mayor Parrish. As most of you don't know, I was born at the original hospital here. My 2 children were born here, and my mother worked in the kitchen as a first-generation immigrant in the late 50s. And to be honest, my sister was working in medical records at the time as well. My niece was a candy striper here. So this hospital means a lot more to me than just building a hospital. And I'm proud to represent the people of Mississauga Lakeshore. After 15 years of underinvestment in healthcare, I was proud to join Premier Ford here to announce this historic project during a pandemic 5 years ago. It is a real honor to welcome the Premier back today with Minister Jones, Minister Surma, and my MPP colleagues for this official groundbreaker, which is a real milestone for our community. Our government is committed to the most ambitious health and long-term care infrastructure program in Canadian history. Here in South Mississauga, we've opened Ontario's largest long-term care home with 632 beds. Wellbrook Place is the larger than the Credit Valley Hospital when it opened 40 years ago. We're building the first residential hospice in Mississauga and a new senior campus of care. And today, we're breaking ground on Ontario's largest, most advanced hospital. And a new women and child hospital, the first of its kind in Canada. So I want to thank my good friend Carly Farrell and her team again for all their hard work. Congratulations to all of you for being part of this today. So now I'm going to go back to my Italian roots to plant tomatoes.
Thank you, MPP Cazzetto. There is a little bit of a bet going on as to what kind of seeds they are. So I'll just put it at that, but we'll take tomatoes. Absolutely. Thank you, Rudy. We do like to talk about the fact that you were born here. We talk about it often, and it's a very special history that you bring. Next, I am so pleased to welcome to the stage MPP Kinga Surma, who is our Minister of Infrastructure. Minister Surma has been with us through the journey of this project, and I will say she asks the best questions. I remember the first briefing we had, and there was such great questions that were, yes, about infrastructure, but more about what we could do with these facilities. You've been an incredible champion. You are one of our local MPPs in West Toronto, and we couldn't be more pleased to share this exciting day with you. Minister Surma, I'll invite you to the stage.
Thank you, Carly. I actually am one of your local MPPs because a lot of my constituents rely on this very hospital for care. So to the Mississauga members. And Rudy, the big question is, do you actually have a tomato garden at home? Thank you so much. It's so wonderful to be here. It's such a great celebration. It's overwhelming, actually, the turnout. Mr. Gilgan, Peter, this is the second day we are seeing each other. For those of you that don't know, Peter made a pretty significant donation to St. Joseph's redevelopment, St. Joseph's Hospital yesterday, $60 million. With 105 for Trillium, is there no end to your generosity? My name is Kinga Surma. I am Ontario's Minister of Infrastructure. It is my job to execute on $200 billion worth of investment, $60 billion of which goes to hospitals. This project being one of them, William Osler in Brampton, Trillium on the Queensway that's currently under construction, Grandview Children's Treatment Hospital in Ajax, which reached substantial completion, Michael Guerin Hospital redevelopment with a new patient tower, Cambridge Hospital,
redevelopment being completed. I'm listing these projects off because these are all projects that have been completed. I don't think we've ever had a premier and a minister of health that has done more for healthcare, that has built more hospitals in the province of Ontario than our Minister of Health, Sylvia Jones, and Premier Doug Ford. Now, as I list our success stories, I must say this will be Canada's largest hospital. But that means that this will be a precedent-setting infrastructure build, which means, to Peter's point, we have to trust each other, we have to work together, and we have to build something extraordinary. So thank you so much for letting me be a part of it. We will continue to move forward, and it's so nice to be here with all of you today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Minister Surma. So next it is my pleasure to call to the stage our Minister of Health and Deputy Premier. You can imagine that if you're building the hospitals we're building out here in Mississauga, and we're the most overcapacity hospital, you get to know the Minister of Health really well. And so we have these amazing calls where we talk about the investments that this government has made, and they are often historical, and they come with such care about what this community needs for healthcare, and also a good tete-a-tete on what we're going to do to respect taxpayer dollars. Minister Jones has been an incredible friend and champion to this city and healthcare across our province. I couldn't be more pleased to ask her to come to the stage as we break ground today on this incredible hospital. Minister Jones.
Okay, I know we've had a lot of great speakers, but to quote Carly, is this not a totally awesome day? Good morning, everyone. It is indeed great to be back in Mississauga today, alongside, of course, Premier Ford, Minister Surma, our entire Mississauga caucus members, and you, to join in celebrating the groundbreaking of the brand new Peter Gilgan Mississauga Hospital and the Shah Family Hospital for Women and Children. Thank you to Trillium Health Partners for hosting us today, and for everything you do to provide exceptional care to patients and families in your community. I would also like to recognize Peter Gilgan, the Shah family, the Orlando Corporation, and all of the other donors who have stepped up and will continue to step up for making our province a better place. Your generosity is making a difference not only at Trillium and across Mississauga and the entire Peel region, but indeed across Ontario. Thank you. Under the leadership of Premier Ford, our government has been making record investments to protect our healthcare system and taking bold and innovative action to make it easier for people and their families to connect to care closer to home. We continue to build capacity across our healthcare system, significantly expanding access to primary care, growing and supporting Ontario's world-class healthcare workforce, and making critical investments to expand and modernize Ontario's hospitals and healthcare infrastructure. Over the next 10 years, we are investing nearly $60 billion in major health infrastructure as part of our government's plan to get shovels in the ground on more than 50 major hospital projects across Ontario, and with a $14 billion investment to support the construction of the Peter Gilgan Mississauga Hospital, which will add new and enhanced services in state-of-the-art facilities. It is one more example of how our government is continuing to build on our progress, investing in the healthcare needs of Ontario's growing communities, and ensuring more people in Mississauga and Peel region and Etobicoke can connect to the highest standard of care for generations to come. Thank you to everyone who has come together to support this exciting milestone. And thank you again to the team at Trillium Health Partners, as well as all the incredible healthcare workers across Mississauga and Peel region for the tremendous care you provide to patients and their families each and every day. Now, please join me in welcoming Premier Ford, who is the main driver behind our historic investments in healthcare, protecting our economy, and leading the charge to defend Canada. And yes, Peter, he will get it done. Thank you. Stay well. Premier Ford.
Those aren't tomato seeds. Oh boy, well, good morning everyone. It's wonderful to be here, and I'm just so excited. I can't wipe the smile off my face. But I'm going to digress for a minute. Those aren't tomato seeds, and I'm going to tell you why they aren't tomato seeds. And I'm getting off track, but I'm going to get to my speech in a minute. I went into Canadian Tires. That Canadian Tire, I broke loose from my detail. They always get mad. And so because I need some freedom. So I go into Canadian Tire, and I'm doing my shopping, and I go out to the exit, and you know how they have all the little goodies all along the side? Well, there's tomato seeds in those little packs. So I thought, what the heck? I'm going to grab the pack of tomato seeds and bring them back. Now, this is only a few weeks ago. And I grew up in a pretty predominantly Italian neighborhood. So every Saturday, I get my buddies to come over. They have an espresso, and the odd person lights up a cigar. But, I said, guys, I have some tomato seeds. And you want to see a real joke, you get 5 Italian men and 1 munja cake trying to plant tomato seeds. And honestly, they went and looked around for a box. They grabbed a wine box, an empty wine box, a skid, and they started planting tomato seeds. Well, I wasn't included because, munja cake doesn't know how to plant tomatoes. That's a stereotype. So what I did to fix their little red wagons, I had my assistant Julia, because they were all telling me, you have to do this in March or April to get tomato plants going. And so I said, Julia, go to Home Depot and grab those ones that have been growing for 3 months. And it's for $3. I didn't know you could buy them for $3. So when they came over the last time, I said, guys, these are the plants I just planted a few months ago. And these are yours. They're still little stubs. But anyways, that's my tomato story. And everyone can, I'll be distributing lots of tomatoes, but I think we must have planted 100 seeds. But first of all, thank you for joining us, everyone. And it's a real pleasure to be here. You heard from I call them my all-star team, Deputy Premier Minister of Health. I'm so grateful to have a right-hand person like Sylvia. Kinga, you're a champion. I always say no one understands infrastructure than Kinga. She studies that inside and out. Has been doing it for years. Been part of every single project, $200 billion. So I was just, and this is not a sales promotion, but the day you leave politics, you're going to be a hot commodity in infrastructure because you're one of the brightest people. I want to thank Rudy too. I know, Rudy, you're very passionate about this, and you're welcome to come over and taste my tomatoes after I'm done because you don't have a tomato plant. And Sharif Sabawe, Sylvia Gulateri, and the whole team from Mississauga. I have a special relationship with the mayor. And she's wonderful. And I'm so appreciative that you came up with that $390 million. I know it's going to cost me 10 times that, but that's all right. You pulled the 390, but the mayor can't do it. I got to give a special shout out to the councillors too, because without the council support, nothing moves forward, and we're very, very grateful for your contribution, and we work so well together. Peter, I told this story before, and you get Peter and the rest of the folks in a minute. But, the mayor comes over, and I have this little wooden fireplace, not even, it's a hot stove type thing. And I said, Mayor, this is in the middle of the winter, it's freezing cold out, so I'm out there chopping wood and everything, and I guess I had a dull blade. A lot of people have told me I have dull blades. So anyways, all of a sudden, she comes over next week with a beautiful brand new axe. I use it every single day. Well, not lately because it's been boiling, but thank you, Mayor. And I just appreciate your, our relationship and our friendship. We talk frequently on the phone, and very grateful. I'm not going to comment on your one comment about who my favorite mayor is, but I'll tell you how it ranks, and you can appreciate this. Mayor Hazel has to be number one, and you're right beside Mayor Hazel, so I'm very, very grateful. Chief Saul, thank you for your partnership. You were there on many occasions. You're very a progressive thinker, super bright individual. You have to look into the background of the chief. Super bright. So thank you very much for all the work that you do. Now, the Commander-in-Chief, Carly. You're the best. I absolutely love Carly, and we have a great relationship. We have great conversations on the phone. I always say I love her more because she's a northern gal, and they know how to get things done. Talking about raising a barn, she'll have this barn up in no time. I promise you that. And all the partners at Trillium Health Partners, and especially the staff here at Mississauga Hospital. Nothing happens without the staff. And I got to give a shout out because when I pulled up, I saw the construction workers. And if it wasn't for the construction workers, this would never, ever get done. And I just want to thank them too, because a lot of times they get ignored. And of course, I want to thank Peter. Peter, thank you. As Kinga said, we were just at St. Joe's yesterday making a massive contribution. Again, you're making another massive donation. But Peter's very modest, like another person I'm going to mention in a little bit here. You're very, very humble. We're very grateful for your contribution to our healthcare sector in Ontario. It makes a massive difference. It wouldn't happen without folks like yourself, Peter. So thank you very much. As I said yesterday, my fishing buddy, I only went out fishing once with him. Probably be the last time I'm going out fishing. We're in the middle of the ocean somewhere. But no, we had a lot of fun. And I also want to thank Chris and Neelam Shah, the Shah family. Thank you so much for your contribution. It's going to make a massive difference right here, having the largest hospital for women and children. It's well needed, and we can't wait to work with you. And anything you ever need your support with, please reach out anytime. Now, Blair, we've seen each other quite a few times. Orlando Corporation contributes, equally, very similar to what Peter does, all the hospitals. But Blair, I have to give a shout out to Carlo and Teresa. And Carlo's my neighbor. He lives behind me. I always tell the coyotes that live under my gazebo, I say, go to the Fidannis. They have good pasta, sugo, everything. And Teresa makes the best banana bread ever. But, Carlo and Teresa always say, don't name us. And I go ahead and name them anyways. Because, they just continue to give just like Peter. And you're just incredible people. There's no one in the country that gives back more to the healthcare system than Peter, Carlo, and Teresa as a whole. Hundreds of millions of dollars. So thank you so much. Thanks to all of you, the shared vision of a bigger and better hospital is becoming a reality. We couldn't do it without each and every one of you. Now, I've named a few people, but it's everyone in this tent and many more people outside the tent as well. It's a real pleasure to celebrate the groundbreaking of the Trillium Health Partners, Peter Gilgan's Mississauga Hospital, and the Shah Hospital for Women and Children. New state-of-the-art hospital to meet the needs of this booming region, and it is booming. They'll bring more than 2,400 healthcare workers, serve over 2.2 million people every year once complete, and create thousands of new jobs in the community. And we're thrilled to be supporting this project by investing, these are big numbers, $14 billion. And I just appreciate PCL, Ellis Don that are here somewhere. Yes, there you are over there. Remember what I told you? Make sure there's no overruns. Keep the cost down. 14 billion's a lot of ching-ching, a a lot of money, but you're doing a great job, by the way. And the expanded hospital will almost triple the size of the current hospital. It will be 22 stories, and if you haven't went by the model over there, I'd go take a look at it. It's beautiful, with more than 350 new inpatient beds, 9 operating rooms to bring the total to 23 operating rooms. And I know there'll be no doc saying I don't have operating time, because you'll have plenty of operating time now, and just so much more. It'll be home to one of the largest emergency departments in the province, operating 24/7. It will make a real dent in its wait times. And I know you have one of the, Carly, you always tell me you have the busiest emergency department, but I share the same thought as as Peter. We're going to get those wait times through, and you're a champion, so I know you're going to do it. And the Shah Family Hospital for Women and Children will be home to one of the best neonatal intensive care units anywhere in the entire world. It'll be the first hospital of its kind right here in Ontario. So I want to say again, a big thank you to the Shah family. Your very, very generous donation. We're very grateful, and you're going to make changes for women and children. The expansion project is a big part of our plan to transform Ontario's healthcare system by investing over $60 billion in major health and infrastructure projects. And I always say that's 50 major sites. No matter where you go in Ontario, you're either getting an addition to a hospital or you're getting a brand new hospital. Folks, I'm just so excited to get the shovels in the ground, and I just want to thank each and every one of you, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you.
So before we get started, I'm going to invite a couple kids up, and I'm going to invite Peter Gilgan to come back up for one more word, and we're going to do some planting, and then we're going to get some shovels in the ground. So Peter first, and then while the kids come up to the stage.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Peter Gilgan today, but I couldn't do this without the support of my family who's here, and not only because they're here, but because our intention is to make what we're doing a very multiple generation structure that we have, and so we have a family council, a very organized, because there's a lot of people involved. Family council and a very professionally run foundation, and the foundation, we have certain pillars. You have to stand for certain things. You can't sprinkle money here and there and everywhere, and healthcare is only one of the 4. We have the environment, we have children, youth, and families, and we have the developing global south as well, are the other 3 things that we really focus on. And I really want to thank my children, many of whom are here today, Amy, Stephanie, and Luke, for the support that they that they grant to Dad to allow this to happen, because without their support, I think we wouldn't be able to do this. So I want to just say real thanks to them and the support that provide us. It's a great thing to have the opportunity to share with your family the opportunity that not only enterprise and business and so forth, but also philanthropy, how it enriches all of our lives. And I just really encourage everyone in this room to really reflect not just only on themselves, but on sharing their values, as I'm sure you all do, but sharing their values, and like Ash and Mona, for example, wonderful examples, and our other friends here are wonderful examples, and the Caniffs and so forth, of sharing their values amongst succeeding generations, so that we can really continue to grow our country and grow our economy. So thank you, guys.
Okay, with that great family theme, and thank you to all the families. I'm going to invite Anya and William to come up, These are the next generation Trillium Health Partners people, members of the family of our staff, and they are going to help Premier Ford and I plant the seeds. So here we go, team. Go with it. We're going to have fun. Okay, thank you. Thank you for indulging me in that, Premier, and thank you for everyone. We are now going to do shovels in the ground, so please join us. Take some time. Yes. Oh, listen, we're going to go with a new program change for sure. Okay, so we got one more thing. I'm going to ask the Premier to take the podium back. We do have one more special surprise for everybody.
Where did Peter disappear to?
Peter's back there.
Peter, we need you back up here, buddy. Well, Peter, I'm so honored to present you with the King Charles III Jubilee Medal. There it is. Beautiful. Congratulations. I'm going to read the proclamation. And I was telling your family, they got to call you Your Highness now. I don't know if that's going to fly. Yeah. Say, he likes that. Exactly. Okay, so Peter Gilgan, by command of the King, the Coronation Medal is hereby conferred upon you in commemoration of His Majesty's coronation as King of Canada and in recognition of your valuable contribution to your province and your country. Congratulations. Wow. Thank you, buddy. There you go, buddy. Just put this on.
Give me the rest of the package, will you?
Yeah, exactly. You thought it was a fishing lure in there, didn't you?
So good. So
There you go,
good.
Peter.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Good. All right.
Throw some dirt.
All right. The Premier says it's time to get her done. It's time to get her done. So thank you for everyone. Take some time. Look at the model set. Our VP of Public Affairs, Shah, is going to come up and explain what's happening with the groundbreaking. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for taking part in the future of healthcare, but more than that, for being a part of the history that got us here in the first place. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.